All right, let's move forward. What are some other games that you're looking at so we can all get rich off of your incredible brain?
I really like Jacksonville this week over in London. I think if you look at Gardner Minshew compared to Baker Mayfield, less commercials, obviously, but his numbers are incredible this year. 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, averages over 7.5. I love Deshaun Watson. Love him as much as any player in the league. But the Texans are beat up. The Texans have lost a lot of players. They're going to go over to London without a real corner. They've lost 3 corners. They're going to have a hard time covering. I think Jacksonville's playing pretty well right now. The last time they played, it was a 13-12 game, week 2 of the season. They did a good job on Deshaun Watson, held him to under 200 yards passing. I like Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville will play well. I think Jacksonville's a really good football team. Not great. I think they're good. And I think the Texans are just beat up right now.
Doug Marrone came out and said that those London games are tough for people, and they were. As a team that went over there, I mean, I don't think you really know what to expect. There's a lot of distraction. Your routine's messed up. It's a different time of day. I mean, all these things that sound so minute are a real thing whenever they start stacking on top of each other, and that makes that London game a lot more difficult than people think. And the Jaguars have a lot of experience from the front office to the coaching staff on how to handle things. I think that's a real advantage as well without people really acknowledging it.
And they always play well over there. They always seem to play well over there. They have it down, and I think the way Minshew's playing, I mean, look, I'm all on board on Minshew. I would have traded Nick Foles at the trade deadline.
Wow.
I think they got to go all in on Nick. I think they got to go all in on Minshew. Like I said, I think he's better than the great Mr. Commercial Baker Mayfield. I think he's better than him. He does more. And Mayfield struggles to see and doesn't have a great feel for pocket awareness, whereas Gardner is a little bit taller and does.
Nick Foles will have one of the most hilarious NFL careers in the history.
Is it amazing? I mean, it's unbelievable. Cut twice, signed off the stack heap, comes back, plays bad against the Raiders. Everybody's booing him in Philly, and then plays bad in the first game against Atlanta, has this incredible game in the playoffs, and then has the Super Bowl, and it's legendary. It really is.
Yeah, and then he gets broken off again in Jacksonville, gets hurt while throwing a touchdown, doing well, then gets cut for Gardner Minshew. I mean, this is going to be – he even went out into the woods and he was thinking about retiring, went out into the woods, did whatever you do in the woods, whether it's pray, smoke, mushrooms, whatever he did. I think it's probably pray, I guess. I would have done a little differently, I guess, to find myself. But he went out in the woods and said, I'm coming back. And then all this has happened. I mean, his story is going to be a good one. I can't wait to read his book. Speaking of book, let's bankrupt FanDuel Sportsbook. What else are we hammering, Mr. Lombardi?
Well, you know, this game, I think when you break down this Packer-Charger game, well, first of all, let me talk about the Cowboys. I really think the Cowboys will kill the Giants.
Hold on. Why didn't Dak get signed?
Why haven't they signed Dak? Because I think Dak wants $40 million a year, and I think Jerry wants to pay $25 million a year. You know, and I think there's a big gap, and I think Jerry has his rights for that. For a couple more seasons. So here's what I think: when you break down the Giants, they have no ability to cover, and you say, well, the Cowboys lost to the Jets, right? Well, the Cowboys didn't have Cam Fleming, they didn't have Collins, and they didn't have Smith, their 2 tackles. They went in that game with backups at tackle. They're healthy now. I think Michael Bennett's going to be a huge addition for their team. I think he'll play really well. I think their defense will play better, and I think Danny Dimes, when he has to play faster, becomes a little bit less of a quarterback. You say, well, they have Barkley. Well, I think Barkley – people are going to start attacking Barkley in pass protection. He did a horrible job last week against the Lions and almost got Danny Dimes killed. And when a back can't protect, people misconstrue running backs. Running backs are not run, catch, block, right? You don't grade running backs run, block, catch, block. You grade them block, catch, run, right? You
I think y'all are doing it
catch,
wrong.
Run.
No, I think you're doing it wrong. I think run should be ahead of catch.
No, you got to be out of the backfield. That's why in this game today, if you can catch the ball in the backfield, if you can only run with the ball, they'll defend you to the day. When you're on the field, they'll defend you like crazy. Oh, he's in the game. It's run, run, run. Why do you think Alfred Morris can't keep a job? He's a really good running back. He's a really good back. He can't keep a job because he can't catch and he can't block. You got to be able to block first. You got to be able to catch second, and then you got to be able to run.
You've sawed down no less than 7 people. I want to let you have sawed them down. Just sawed him down. Just incredible analysis. I'm just saying there's some people that are listening to this like, oh, Alfred Morris is listening to this like, man, whoa. What did I do to get that? How about Jerome Bettis? You think Jerome Bettis has a career in the modern football world?
You know, Jerome Bettis could catch the ball on the backfield. Jerome Bettis wasn't just a runner. Now, he wasn't an extended player, and Jerome Bettis played in an era where we were more two-back. He was in a lot of two-back sets. Remember, when he was at the Rams, they traded him for, I think, a third-round pick because they weren't sure he was going to fit the modern game. And Pittsburgh took him, put him in the deep set, and really made the most of him.
This is how you know if you're from Pittsburgh. Ready? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Jerome Bettis was literally drummed into our brains that guy was the savior of the Pittsburgh Steelers football. Him and Palamalu. Palamalu. I mean, it's just the way it goes whenever they were there. That was an awesome team to watch. Sorry, I got off track there. Okay, so
That's okay. You remember when he fumbled against you were at the Colts when he fumbled going in for the score, were you?
No, but if any other dude picks that ball up, any other guy picks that ball up who just potentially didn't get stabbed the night before, I mean, that was a very different outcome to that play. And
and a different outcome to the Steelers.
Yeah, and then they get the big Super Bowl win there. I mean, that was just
I mean, that play was that was an unbelievable play.
I mean, because he had those rubber sleeves on his arm, and those things get wet. I mean, the ball's just going to pop out.
Even though it worked out, I still don't forgive him for it.
Hey, that guy had a good time in Pittsburgh too. I've heard a lot of great stories about him. Anyways, moving.
And then I like the Packers. Even though everybody's on the Packers, I think 87% of the money's coming in on the Packers. I think this is a home game for the Packers. Mm-hmm. I think there'll be 35,000 people there. I think 33,000 of them will be Packer fans. I really do.
Hey, that Packers team looks
I
damn
think it's
good.
going to be I think it's going to be hard for Phillip Rivers. I think it'll be a track meet. I think it'll be the game will go. Both teams will score, but I think the Packers at the end of the day will cover the 3 points. I think that they're the better team than the Chargers. The Chargers defensively are beat up, and their offensive line still isn't very good. And I think the Smith brothers of Green Bay will put pressure on Phillip.
All right, I'm not with you with Dallas because we have no idea what's going to happen. I think that $40 million a year is going to be something that distracts him more than people think. I mean, getting your first big paycheck whenever you think it's going to come and it doesn't come can be distracting. But also, I guess he's got that Greek yogurt money too, so I guess he's looking pretty good.
That helps.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Isn't it Dannon?
Who?
It's Dannon yogurt, right?
I don't know. I just remember him like sitting in there. And then the one where they ring the bell.
Salvation Army.
That's one of the worst commercials in history. I mean, when that comes on, it's almost like forget it, can't say it. Literally can't say it. But I like Dak Prescott on and off the field. I think he plays very well. But I think this could be distracting that the deal has not got done yet. Will he play how he played the week before the bye, or will he play the first week, or will it be the other games? I'm excited to see. I'm not going to hammer it because his hammer is vital, but I will hammer the Packers and the Colts this weekend for sure alongside of you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm excited to get rich and watch these games with you, brother.